Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos, Solskjaer's last chance. If Manchester United fail to beat Liverpool, Solskjaer could be sacked. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday Manchester United's game against Liverpool is key for Solskjaer's future. As things stand at the moment, Solskjaer's job is safe, so Solskjaer will not be sacked by Manchester United yet. Manchester United recently beat Atalanta 3-2. Manchester United overcame a 2-goal deficit. Revert back to what I've said on my recent videos, Solskjaer always seems to turn it around under pressure. The question is Man United's 3-2 win over Atalanta the turning point for Solskjaer? Yes, Solskjaer is still under pressure despite that win against Atalanta. The vast majority of Manchester United fans are demanding Solskjaer out. I can't see Solskjaer getting until the end of this season, unless we go on a very good winning run until like January or February. I think Solskjaer will be sacked by Christmas. Solskjaer has run out of excuses because Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad, so in reality we should be winning the Premier League this season. Plus Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. We spent around £141 million. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Solskjaer received very good backing. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football. Manchester United made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. During the international break, John Murtough said we need to keep control and we will not deviate from the plan. Darren Fletcher also backed Solskjaer. We made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in, because Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin. He enjoyed 2 decades as a player for Man United. Ed Woodward has also backed Solskjaer. Well, Woodward said a long time ago that he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe even when we was enduring them bad periods. Ed Woodward is leaving Manchester United. It got announced he was leaving back in April. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. Richard Arnold will replace Ed Woodward as the vice chairman in January. And the Glazers also backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Because as you all know, towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and reflecting on that, there was Manchester United fans protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and then outside Old Trafford. But Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. As you all know, the Glazers have sold shares. The Glazers have been at Manchester United since 2005, so they've been at Man United for 16 years or so. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. So Solskjaer has enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Manchester United manager. Conte is the favourite to replace Solskjaer. There's quite a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Conte in. There's also some Man United fans that are demanding Zidane in to replace Solskjaer. Don't forget, Ronaldo wants Zidane. If Solskjaer gets sacked, he'll be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Manchester United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. Manchester United sacked David Moyes after 10 months. He's the worst manager I'd say we've had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, was it? We won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal, and Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after like 3 years. Despite Mourinho winning 3 trophies in his first season, Mourinho also got us a 2nd place finish in his first season. So you can say he did enjoy 1 good season at Man United, but the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. And in general, the board weren't backing the signings that Mourinho wanted to recommend in. Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. And a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired. Like I've said to you before, Solskjaer's not going to replicate what Ferguson did. No manager's going to replicate what Ferguson did. Not in my lifetime anyway. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Good job he didn't get sacked any time in that 4-year period where he didn't win anything, or we wouldn't have had any success now. Ferguson enjoyed like a 27-year tenure at Man United, so he was a very long-serving manager. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because he had a lot of time for Moyes, plus there was both Scottish. But in regards to Solskjaer, this season is his 3rd full season as Manchester United manager. And I did say at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. But revert back to what I said on my recent videos, I think the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed, and I believe Solskjaer's in a position that he shouldn't be in. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. And earlier on this season, Ollie said that we must leave a legacy of silverware. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. We made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. I've told you, my two biggest concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There's a lot of United fans that have got concerns about his decision making, and the other one is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Before us, Solskjaer was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles and that with Molde, but they're not a big club. Enjoyed 2 spells with them before Molde. He was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. He only enjoyed a short tenure at Cardiff. Solskjaer got sacked from Cardiff because he got them relegated. So there you go. I am surprised that Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager. But the reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a legend of the club. Disregarding him being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager now. Despite me criticising Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, I've got to make an admission and say, yeah, he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in. Ollie knew he had a lot to do when he came in. And he knew it was going to be a massive job despite him knowing the club through thick and thin, because Ollie is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. I expected Solskjaer to do far worse than he has done. But there is positives regarding Ollie. There's not all negatives. I think in certain aspects Solskjaer's brought consistency back. Another positive regarding Ollie is that he develops the youth. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players, and we've spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's got rid of players permanently. He's loaned quite a few players out. Some progress has been made under Solskjaer, because Solskjaer has got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately we didn't win it. So there you go. And last season Solskjaer got us a 2nd place finish, and he got us a 3rd place finish in his first full season. And don't forget, we went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. Obviously, Leicester ended our unbeaten run away from home in the league last weekend. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ollie. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Maguire, Shaw, Rashford, Fernandes and Paul Pogba. So there you go. But Manchester United have got a very good squad. Our squad is worth around 805 million. Obviously, we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's done really well since he's re-signed. He's scored 6 goals so far in all competitions. Ronaldo recently scored the winner against Atalanta. It was a very good header as well. Ronaldo also saved Manchester United against Villarreal. Like I mentioned earlier, Ronaldo wants Zidane, so reflecting on that, he's demanding Solskjaer to be sacked. Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, but Solskjaer stopped him. Well, prior to that game, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game. After Ronaldo was left on the bench in Man United's draw with Everton before the international break. Don't forget, Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. Earlier on this season, he said Ronaldo wants to retire at Manchester United. Then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. He's 36 at the moment. Well, Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives 480 grand a week. He's the highest earner at Manchester United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt. We got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. You know, Ronaldo has won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. You know, we've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very good. Greenwood played against Atalanta recently, didn't really do much, couldn't really create any opportunities. He scored a stunning goal though in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester last weekend. That's 4 goals now for Mason Greenwood in the Premier League so far this season. Don't forget, Greenwood did go a long time without scoring, but despite that, Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. Marcus Rashford. He's done really well since he's come back. You know, Rashford scored against Atalanta. Rashford also scored in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester last weekend. That was Rashford's comeback. I'm hearing now that Rashford has got a leg injury. I'm hopeful that he can play against Liverpool tomorrow. Don't forget, Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and at one point Rashford had to have an operation on his shoulder. Rashford's camp were unhappy with Solskjaer not so long ago because Solskjaer told Rashford to prioritise his football instead of his off-pitch activities. We need to keep Rashford on the left wing because that's where he's more effective. He's far superior on the left wing to the right wing and up top. Rashford's been a United player for a long time. He's been with us since the age of 7. He's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. You've got Edison Cavani, that's also very good. Cavani didn't start against Atalanta, but he did come on. Cavani's initially lost his place in the team with us re-signing Ronaldo, but I heard earlier on this season that we're considering a formation change which will allow Solskjaer to play 2 strikers, and I presume that would be Cavani and Ronaldo. Cavani had injury earlier on this season. I think Cavani will be leaving Man United next year. I can't say I want him to leave though, because he's made an impact since he's come in. Cavani has under a year left on his contract. It was back in May he signed that 1 year contract extension. Cavani receives over 200 grand a week. Earlier on this season, he said that Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. And I presume Barcelona will reignite their interest, because Barcelona wanted Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. And he was also a long-serving player at PSG. Now, Jadon Sancho, he's a good player, but Sancho has endured a very poor start to his Manchester United career. Reflecting on that, there's Man United fans that are now getting on Sancho's back. I think Solskjaer's to blame for Sancho's performances, because Solskjaer is persistently playing Sancho out of position. You know, he's playing him on that left wing when he starts. And yes, Sancho can play as a left winger, but Sancho's far superior on the right wing than the left wing, because the right wing is Sancho's predominant position. Sancho can also play through the middle. Sancho needs time, you know, he's still young, got a lot of development in him. Like I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in, and I said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund's CEO warned Manchester United that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. You know, we got Sancho for 78 million with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. You've got Bruno Fernandes. That's obviously a very good player. Fernandes recently played against Atalanta, got 2 assists. He obviously got an assist for Mason Greenwood's goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester last weekend. Fernandes has not yet missed a game so far this season, but like I updated you yesterday, reports said that Bruno Fernandes is a shock injury doubt for Manchester United's game against Liverpool after limping in training. Fernandes played the full 90 minutes against Atalanta, but he got on the end of some strong challenges. Fernandes has been consistent in a lot of games for Manchester United, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season, he said Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Well, earlier on this season, Fernandes made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. You've got Paul Pogba. That's a good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. And I hope he stays at Manchester United and signs a new contract. Now, earlier on this season, Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Manchester United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner at the club. At the moment, Pogba receives around 290 grand a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a Man United contract. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba was very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. But earlier on this season, it said Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United, and Paul Scholes backed Pogba to stay. Now, after Manchester United's 4-2 defeat to Leicester last weekend, Pogba came out and said that something needs to change at Manchester United. So, reflecting on that, is Paul Pogba demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out? You know, there's a lot of clubs that have been in for Pogba. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. You know, Real Madrid have been in for him. His former club Juventus have been in for him. You know, don't forget during the international break, Pogba refused to rule out a Juventus return because he did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. PSG have been linked with Pogba. League 10 Sports said not so long ago that PSG are prepared to offer Pogba $500,000 a week in wages if he leaves Man United next summer. Barcelona have been in for him. Well, it said not so long ago Pogba got offered to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. So reflecting on that, Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Pogba's done well though so far in the Premier League this season. So far he's got 7 assists. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he's sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. You've got Donny van der Beek, that's a good player. But like I said to you before, I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United, because he doesn't get enough game time, and I've already said that Solskjaer needs to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League, because he's a good player. I don't think Solskjaer wants Van der Beek at Manchester United, if I'm going to be honest with you. Well, Solskjaer did recently admit that Van der Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Manchester United. You know, we've got Luke Shaw, that's good. But Luke Shaw's been out of form so far this season. You know, where's the Luke Shaw from last season? I'm sure as the season goes on, Luke Shaw will regain his form. There again, not so long ago, he came back from minor injury and illness. Luke Shaw was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. You've got Wan-Bissaka, that's also a very good right back. There is aspects of his game that I've got to improve, but despite that, he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. You've got Maguire, that's good when he wants to be. I think he's enjoyed a pretty poor start this season, if I'm going to be honest with you. Maguire scored against Atalanta, but Maguire failed to cover for Demiril's goal from the corner. Maguire has just come back from a calf injury not so long ago, played against Leicester last weekend. Shouldn't have played against Leicester. You know, Solskjaer rushed him back too soon, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that, and Maguire made howlers in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. Varane's obviously a very good centre-half. He's done well in a lot of the games he's played in for Man United so far. He's had a couple of games though where he's looked off the pace. Obviously, Varane, he's not available at the moment because he's got a groin injury. He's out for a few weeks. He's a big miss for Man United. You've got Bailly, that's a good centre-half, but obviously Bailly can't get in the team. Obviously, with the arrival of Varane in the summer. And obviously Solskjaer seems to prefer Lindelof ahead of Bailly. I don't understand why. I think we'll sell Bailly next year. And obviously, Man United have got David De Gea. That's a very good goalkeeper. De Gea's done really well so far this season. Don't forget De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot back. De Gea did well against Atalanta. He made a double save. And he was totally blameless for both of Atalanta's goals. You've got Dean Henderson as well, that's a good goalkeeper. He's only been in goal for one game this season, that was the cup game against West Ham. Don't forget Henderson was out for a while with COVID. So there you go, but on the other side of things, there's inconsistent players at Man United. I don't think Fred's good enough. I don't think McTominay's good enough. Lingard's not good enough. Lingard doesn't really get in the team anyway. Martial's not good enough. Martial doesn't really get in the team. Martial's got a knock at the moment. I don't think Dalot's good enough. I don't think Lindelof's good enough. I don't think Matic is good enough either. So yeah, there's a few. And Manchester United are going to sell players next year. Like I've gone through with you before, I think there's a good chance Martial will go next year, Cavani will go next year, like I mentioned, Mata will go next year, Lingard will go next year, because as you all know, Lingard's planning to run down his contract, because not so long ago Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Van der Beek will go next year. I think there's a good chance Matic will go next year. Tellez will go next year because Tellez doesn't really get in the team. Tellez only plays when Luke Shaw's obviously not available. I think Jones will go next year because Jones doesn't get in our team. Like I said, I think Bailly will go next year. And Dalot will go next year. And Dean Henderson could go out on loan as well because it said earlier on this season Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. If you do consider subscribe to my channel name is Red Devil 24 and more videos will be coming up later on today.